Good morning, students. Today, we are going to study about the rise of sultanates because after the fall of the Abbasid, and I have already mentioned before you that the Abbasid, their powers, understand, shrank around the central Iraq and the western Iran. Understand? And after the attack of the Bules, their power, the Abbasid powers, completely deroded or rooted out, and Bules established. But the Bules left Abbasid as the nominal head, as the spiritual head of the Islam, as a caliphs, their position were not destroyed and dismantled, and their positions remained intact. Understand? So after that, their position remained intact. So we see that now or remain intact. And after that, in the meantime, a new elements I have already mentioned the Turks, the enter into the politics of the Islamic world. And now because and their characteristics was their features. What their features were? Their features were that they were appointed in in the course or in the service of the Sasanians, or in the service of the Khurashanians, or in the service of the Arabs. They were working under the service of the Arabs and the Khurashan, and moreover, and they were the dynamic horse riders. They were well versed in the archery, or as well as and they held many of the position in the armies, and as well as the high positions in the governmental service, or service of the in the service of the different states. So now we can see that there was a power vacuums. Understand? Because here the entire Abbaside or the Islamic world was in the state of breaking down and the breaking way. Or in the meantime, a third ethnic group was added to the Arabs and the Iranians, and there was also a conflict or the tension between the Arabs and the Iranian, or between them. A new elements now, advent of the new elements happened, or this element with the rise of the Turkish sultanates. Understand? And the Turkish sultanates in the 10th or the 11th century, between the 10th and the 11th century, a new element, understand, a new ethnic group entered between the tensions of the Arabs and the Iranian. And the Turks were the nomadic, no doubt. Nomadic means they were wandering and belong to the certain clans and the tribals group. Understand? So they were the wandering and the nomadic from the Central Asian steppes, from the Central Asian steppes grassland. Understand? Of the Turkestan, where they belonged, where their origin, where where their origins, they originated from Turkestan, northeast of the Aral Sea to the borders of the China, northeast of the Aral Sea and to the borders of the China. From there, their origin is supposed to be there. Their origin is the supposed from there. Understand? From the Aral Sea to there, and border of the China, who gradually converted into the Islam, and gradually these Turks, understand, these nomads now converted into the Islam, or in the Islam, and after the conversion they were skilled. I have already mentioned, no doubt the Turks were the skilled horse riders, warriors, and entered in the Abbasid or Sasanian service, Abbasid service, and the Bules administration. Now we know that now the Buttes had captured the many part of the Islamic world. Understand? Many of the part of the Islamic world they had now captured, and moreover, or they in the administration, the Buttes administration, they got into their position or as a slave and the soldiers. Now they enter in the service as a slaves or as a soldiers. So that's why they Turks were called as the Mamluk. They were called as the Mamluk Sultans. Understand? Because they were the slaves were called as a Mamluk and a soldiers. Rising to the high positions also, there was, and sometimes on the basis of their skill or their efficiency, understand, a skill or efficiency or the excellency, some of them amongst them used to be the risen at the highest position on the account of their loyalty and the military abilities, because of their loyalty and as well as the qualities they had inherent, the qualities of the loyalty and the military abilities. Because of that, sometimes they had been promoted to the higher post. Understand? The students, now we have seen that. Now we shall see that in the process of the breaking down of these Khalifa and the Arab empires, now we can see that Ghaznavid Sultanates emerged in the emerged. Ghaznavid Sultanates was established by a Alauddin Alauddin, who set up a Ghaznavi Sultanates. Understand? Or 961 AD. Okay, Alauddin established the Ghaznavi Sultanates, and moreover, and consolidated by the, and this Sultanate was later on consolidated by the Mahmud Ghaznavi, about whom do and you, most of you, and many of you know about the Muhammad Ghaznavi. Now we know that he, Muhammad Ghaznavi, now he ruled from 998 to the 1030, and the like the Buttes, the Ghaznavis were a military dynasty. Like the Buttes, the Ghaznavis were always a military dynasty. Understand? Their profession was, they belong to profession of the militarism, military professions they belong to that, and moreover, and with the profession of the army of the Turks or military generals of now the dynasty with the profession army of the Turks, Indians say one of the general of the Mahmud that will be the very starter for you, that the Mahmud Ghaznavi had a general, Hindu general. His name was Tilak. Understand? He was the general of, so like that, like the this Mahmud Ghaznavi. Ghaznavids were the also military tribals or the military clans. They render the service of the militarism, and Indians named Tilak, but their center of the power was in the Khurasan and Afghanistan. The new Ghaznavid state form or their power center was at the Khurasan and the Afghanistan around area, Khurasan and Afghanistan, and for them the Abbasid Caliphs were. Here is the that Muhammad Ghaznavi, you know very well that he made the invasion the 17 times of India, on India. 17 times he attacked upon the India. Understand? Or this in the attack, why did he attack? Did he, was he wanted to establish his empire in India? No, his ambition of the attacking or the making the invasion of India, the looting the temples of the India. Now the temples were now full of the enormous gold and silver and the wealth. Enormous booty in the temples were accumulated. That's why his spies, he used to send the spies in the for investigating or for finding out the temples, the how much wealth the temples were had the immense wealth. Understand? That's why his ambition was to capture, to looting, to loot these temples and sack this temple. So the Muhammad Ghaznavi now many times attack on India, 17 times, or the first attack is happened on 1001 AD. Understand? Or in the sequence of that, whenever he used to come, now he looted the temples and the mass killing, massacred, carnage, large scale peoples were slew, and moreover, and those who were caught in the battlefield and the any anywhere, they were now dragged to the his dragged to the Ghazni, and where they were converted either in the Islam, or they had to be the they had a, they were now they were deployed at the work, and they were made the slaves there. Understand? All the captives in the war were made the slaves, and they were deployed at the in the different works. So this kind of the Muhammad Ghaznavi, now he just 17 times he looted, and one of the most remarkable loot that he made and he did was the Somnath temples. Understand? Temple of the Somnath, where the ruler of that area was a Bhim. Understand? So he became very afraid of the Muhammad Ghaznavi, and he left his entire let the he fled away because of the afraid. He was much afraid of the Ghaznavi, or he fled away. So because of that, fled away. So as a result, what happened? So as a result, he fled away, and then after he left on the fate, the people on the fate of the god on the. And now what happens now? The people had the strong beliefs. The Brahmins had the strong belief that Somnath will now take the revenge and will punish the Muhammad Ghaznavi if he will now just touch the temple with his unpious hands. Understand? And impure hands. Understand? But and there was some startled things that a statue or the icons installed in the gold icons of the god was installed in and it was there was a no any stake or the no any support was given to that. So it was the very startle for all the people. But Muhammad Ghaznavi, he was very intelligent, and now he just went riding on the roof, and then after he now dragged and he pulled at a place from where the all of the and that vacuum, there was a vacuum, understand, or the vacuums break or air entered into that, and as the air entered, the statue now fell down, understand. So this was the, and the peoples now remain just visitors, and remain as audiences. Peoples were looking that how, and now from their Somnath temples he had now carried the enormous wealth, understand, and the untold wealth was carried there, and the large number of thousands of peoples were who caught, they were made the slaves. And even then the rubbles of the, he destroyed the Somnath temples, and the rubbles of the Somnath temples were carried, and it is said that these rubbles were now cemented at the stairs of the mosque in the Ghazni, where these all the rubbles were carried, understand, or these rubbles were now cemented at the stairs of the mosque. It is said that. And one thing is that here is a notion in our mind, or the all the in Indians, is that he was a lutera and he was a robber. Understand? He came in India or many times looted the India. Understand? But one thing is that he was a and came India and the looted. Only his purpose was looting in the India. But why he was the looting? Understand? Because now looting that he was a very good administrator in the views of the Indians. He was a looter. He looted the India. Understand? He was a robber's like he behalf the Indians. But we see that in the in the if you study the one of the book Siyasat Nama, His now his Wazir has written Nizamul Mulk, named the Nizamul Mulk. His Wazir, understand, finance minister, who had written a book, the Siyasat Nama, or according to in the Siyasatnama about his administration, his justice, or his administration. Understand? He was a very good administrator in the Ghazni. Or in our views, he was a lutera. He was just a robber. Understand? But in the Ghazni, whatever he looted here, understand, and accumulated the wealth from India, now he invested this all the wealth in the progress and development and prosperity of the Ghazni. Understand, Ghazni, for that prosperity and for the prosperity of the Ghazni. Understand? So now the Siyasat Nama, there were many of the justices about the story. I will going to tell you that he was so judicious that once one of his cousin, understand, or now he was very dominant, understand, or now once he just fallen in the adultery, understand, and now harassed harassed farmer's wife, understand, or then after the farmer say, the poor farmer now went in the court of the Muhammad Ghaznavi, and where he now told all the story about his cousin, understand, about the cousin. Now he broke all the mystery of his cousin. Then after Muhammad Ghaznavi himself, understand, went one night, midnight, he himself went there at the mid of the nights, understand, and now where he and a candle was flickering there, understand, candle was flickering there, understand, and he hidden in the side, but what he saw that his cousin actually he now entered into that house at the midnight. Understand? Muhammad Ghaznavi now recognized his cousin, and then after, as he now entered the house, and now the Muhammad Ghaznavi, what he did first, he now put out the flickering candles, understand, and the light, and then after he took out his sword, and then after his sleeve, and now struck on his neck, and he became on the cut into the pieces. So now that the farmer was now looking all these incidents, he was trembling of this story, and the looking, he was trembling of these incidents. What he was looking, he could not, his eyes could not believe. Understand? Could not believe, but now he just trembling and uttered, Jahapana, understand? Why did you just put out the lamp? Understand? So now he said that his justice is always blind. Understand? If I would have seen him, understand, closely, and I would have not killed him, because the sentiments and emotions perhaps would have been the righteous, and perhaps would have gripped me. That's why I just put out the. So he judicious was there. Once a story was there. Understand? It was Muhammad Ghaznavi. Once robbers were very active in his province or in his state. Understand? Or the Karwan, the group of the merchants were carrying the goods, and these dacoits used to looted them. The group of the dacoits, understand, used to looted the karma and the merchants commodities. Understand? So now in the meantime, what happened? Now these complaints was brought to the Muhammad Ghaznavi, and Muhammad Ghaznavi now what he did, understand? Now he just in the guise of the traders, understand, and the many some of the army bands of the army, understand, they were just converted into the garbage in the garb of the merchants, understand, and the merchants, and now he just petties, packets of the apples in the baskets of the apples loaded on the bullock carts. Understand? And then after driven as a karma, as a uh, uh, as a merchants, as the traders karma. Understand? Traders group. But what he happened already done. Now in all apples, basket full apples, in those apples he injected the poisons already. Injected the poison. What injected the poison? Understand? Or these basket full apples, beautiful, and the apples were covered, and then as they reached in the way on, they were now marched on the way where the dacoits were residing or the heading. Now as they marched ahead, understand, all of a sudden the dacoits appeared, understand, in full form, and then after started they now fallen upon the karmas. Understand? They were the armies. And what happened? They let them. The army did not didn't do anything and remained the spectators. Understand what happened? They looted these apples, and now as they saw what is the basket, in the basket they saw the apples. Started the eating the apples. Understand? And most of the uh, most of them died of the poisonous died of the poisonous apples after the eating. So in this way, the menace of these dacoits and the robbers now he ended. Understand? Ended, and the rest of them were arrested and put into the imprisoned. They were imprisoned and the jail. Understand? So this kind of the judicious he was the Muhammad Ghaznavi, although he was a very fanatic, understand, and he needed the wealth and the money. That's why he made the targeted the Indian temples. Now the jasus and the spies used to inform him. He used to send the jasus and the where in which temple how much wealth are there. So in the name of the Islam, understand, or he was just the a statue breaker, understand, or now he assumed the title of the Ghazi Malik, understand, Ghazi means those the army which army of the generals who fight for the sake of the Islam, for the for the spread of the Islam, understand, religious battles. He always declared his battle as a religious battle, as a jihad. Why? Because now exploiting the by this exploiting the spirit of the Islamic army. Understand? That's why the mostly the sultans now used to take the sultans used this term of the jihad for getting or for getting the full fledged support of their armies. Understand? So now we are looking that the Muhammad Ghaznavi was you learned Muhammad Ghaznavi. His ambition was not to install the empire in India. Understand? Only the looting and acquiring the money, and he went quiet. Understand? And moreover, Ghaznavis, the Indian, some of the Mahmud was an Indian named Tilak, or one thing is that very startle that one of his general was his general was a Hindu general Tilak. Understand? His general was now. Moreover, for the Abbasid Khalifa, what the he say look towards the how what were the views towards the caliphs? The now here we can say that General Muhammad was Indians named the Tilak, but their center of the power was Khurasan and Afghanistan. So Ghazni location is Ghaznavi location in the Khurasan and Afghanistan area. Its location is here. Understand? And moreover, the caliphs were not rivals but source of legitimacy. Source of legitimacy means that now these slaves could not be the ruler. Understand? So they had to be before the becoming the rulers, ascending on the throne, they must have to be the take, and after the ascending throne, they must have to be the get the legitimacy, means the legal rights. They had no legal rights to rule. Slaves had no legal rights, but they had to be the take the letter of manumission, letter of manumission, yani a letter of the liberation. Understand? Letter of liberation or manumission they had to take from where? From, and the recognitions they had to take the recognition from where? From the caliphs of Baghdad. Understand? Now in our country, when the Iltutmish ascended on the throne, so he had now, or the Qutubri Nabab who had ascended on the throne, so he had taken the letter of manumission from the caliphs of the Baghdad, a recognitions in which he sent him a garbage, sent him a garb and ropes and the garb for the royal garbs. Understand? And one canopy, garbs and scepter. These were sent by the caliphs as a symbolism, as a symbolic liberation. Understand? So this kind of, they had to be the take the permission illegal. So the Muhammad Ghaznavi saw and viewed the Khalifa as a legitimate source of legitimate. Mahmud was conscious of being the son of the slaves. Now you know that Mahmud Ghaznavi was a son of slave and was especially eager to receive the title of Sultan from the Khalifa. So he wanted to receive the title of Sultan from the Caliphs, because Caliphs without the taking the permission from the Caliphs, a slaves could not be recognized legally. Understand? Legally the king or the sultans, never, they must have to be the. So that's why he wanted to get the recognition from the caliphs. The caliphs was willing to support the Sultan Ghaznavi, and on the other hand, the caliphs was himself eager to support the Muhammad Ghaznavi. Why? Because he wanted to counterweight of the Shiite power. He wanted to counterweight the Shias were the influence there. So he wanted by granting him kingship. Understand? Granting him the royal authority. He wanted to establish the balance of power there, because the Shiites were becoming the very dominant in that area. Understand? In the Khurasan and Afghanistan, these were the Iranian area. So that's why he wanted to make a strong hold there of the Sunni holds. Understand? So that is why he willingly now conferred on him the letter of manumission, or conferred on him the make him liberate. He liberated him. Understand? So now we can see students that in this way the Muhammad Ghaznavi and became the one of the dominant figure in the emergence of the Turks after the decline of the Abbasid rule. Understand? These Turks. So one of the dynasty that was associated with our country. Understand? We should know, and we have to be learned about that. The next progress of that, Seljuk Turks, another group in the Central Asia was the Seljuk Turks. Understand? They emerged into the power, entered the Turan as soldiers, entered Turan as soldiers in the armies of the Shamanids and the Karakhanids, Samanids and Karakhanids. I suppose that the time is about to over. Then I shall discuss the further topics. Okay, in the next class, students. Now. I suppose. Okay, thank you very much.